Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Vanilla Minecraft with Gabbro and myself.
Hello.
Last episode, we went through a couple cosmetic changes that Gabbro has made. Made the area around here very pretty. And built us this lovely little enchanting area. Where we
Sort of a slow
enchanted
process of doing
everything I
little
had.
bits. I don't know if I've got enough experience.
Oh, we might have to
I'll have to come
remedy
back
that.
and
Yeah. Come follow me, Gabriel. So today we are
Ow.
going to be working on the stuff that I have done. I'm going to pop down to storage real fast. My iron shovel's nearly broken, and I just enchanted it. So no, you can't just repair it with an iron, can you?
I don't know. You might be able to do it in the anvil with a bit of iron.
Yeah, these just go.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
However,
Okay.
you can do, but I don't know if it'll take away the enchantment.
Nope.
Okay. Well, when you use this, the repair,
That one
this
does,
repair thing,
yeah.
yes, that one will take away the enchantment. But you need two pairs, so you'd need like 2 iron leggings.
Yeah.
But it will destroy the enchantment.
Well, Gabriel, I have a question for you, sir.
Oh.
If you were to see this, what do you think I have made?
A gold farm?
Very good guess, sir. Okay. It's probably a little... I don't want to say OP because I'm probably sure I messed up somewhere. But it's kind of intense. And I think you'll like it.
Okay.
So first off,
Is it-
we have to jump into the nether. And I think I prepared enough. But
Well,
I'm
it
not...
is becoming nighttime, but that shouldn't be a problem
No.
because we're going in the nether.
Ugh. Oh, and it's got a bit of rotten flesh.
Ew.
Ugh. So, behold! The great nether highway.
Ah,
So you just gotta grab yourself a boat from the thing.
got me though.
And apparently I gotta turn around. Ugh. Okay, and then you ready? You just hold down
Yeah.
forward. Watch out for pigmen.
Ah! Get out of the way.
Yeah, I like how pigmen will just straight up dead stop you. But you move quite quickly.
If you can
You
get
just gotta kind of
facing
slow
the
down.
right.
Ah! Oh, I just saw inside your head.
Ugh. Ow.
Okay, and then you just break your boat.
My boat's going back.
But yeah, so I built this entire thing. There is a reason for this checkered board bit of ice. The boat has such... I think I actually did more than needed. I believe I could break out like another... like half of these again, and it would be fine. But I put down the slabs because pigmen kept spawning in here. But then you see how these ones right here have nothing in between them. They just fall down.
Yes.
The reason I did the checkered board pattern, and I could get away with a little bit less of the ice, is because the boat has a big enough hitbox. You're basically like a 2x2, or like 2.5
okay.
by 2.5, or something crazy.
Yeah.
And so you don't need that many blocks, and so it saves a lot of ice. So you've been to the one on the bottom, so we're gonna go down there real fast because I don't think the viewers have seen that. So we're gonna head down, and we made another portal, but we're not using it because it's like going somewhere we have no idea. But we have this magical thing. I built a blaze farm. It's not the fastest, but as the blazes fall down, because they're not aggro to you or I, they fall on one of these pressure plates. So when they fall on a pressure plate, a piston pushes a block out, and that block pushes them into the middle area. And it kind of condenses them all, and they're not aggroed, so they're just falling down. And they try to wander, but I mean they're inside of one block area, and they're not going to just fly back out. It does seem like up on the top they do get stuck sometimes. But then the magic is down below, sir. And so for the viewers, there was over to this wall here, there was this other like elaborate contraption with mine carts. And it just didn't work very well.
No, but it did look good though.
It did. It was really cool. It was basically I had this big area in here. I would go with mine carts and catch a blaze in the mine cart and transport it up through here, and then push them out into this little trap area where you could stand there and you swipe at them. But yeah, if you want to head down, this is the new updated version.
I didn't realize it was so close.
To what?
To a blaze spawner from. But no, I suppose.
Well,
with the boat ride, it seems very close.
Yeah, it's quite a ways actually.
Yeah.
So these blazes are in here. They're on top of a hopper, right? If you click the button to the right, you'll see something. No, to the right. Your other right. There you go. If you go ahead and click it. So it pushes out a block for 24 ticks or something like that. And so all it does is they take suffocation damage. Damage, there we go. And so here's a chance. You hit the button. Oh, I guess he was nearly dead. What happens is it gets them down to like half a heart. And so you just sit here when they're really low, so you hit the button. And so you can have all like 100 blazes in, well, not 100, but you can have a bunch of blazes in there, and then you just smack them once. And they're dead. I built this self-resetting system in there. I think I can. Yeah. So if you hop down in here, this is all the delay. So the block gets pushed for that long, and then it resets the switch and pulls the block back out.
Right.
And that was actually what initially the second button was, to reset the whole system, but then it ended up not being necessary. So the second button doesn't really do anything right now. It's supposed to make it so the piston goes back out, but so yeah, you just sit here and you hit the button. The only downfall is in several versions. Oh,
you start flying back up.
Well, no, that was the problem because I punched him instead of smacking him with the sword. But I mean, yeah, we get. Not a lot, but I don't have looting on the sword or nothing. But I'm sure there's more efficient ways. But the problem is that if you stand down here long enough and you don't do anything, it's not fully AFK. And the problem is once you get more than like 23 blazes in there,
yes,
they just start killing each other.
They die.
Yeah, it's just the entity cramming. So. With that in mind, you have to kind of stay here constantly and, keep working the machine. But yeah. So, this took quite a while to make. I mean, it's a pretty simple design. I believe I made it a little too small, and I think that is why we're not getting like a ton of blazes. But if I opened up the area a little bit more, we might get some more. But yeah, I mean, it's not very complicated. It's just basically a pressure plate with a comparator on the back of the block that sends a redstone signal out to a couple torches on the block, and that's it. But this is not the crown jewel, my friend.
Ooh.
There's more. So how we initially got here is if you follow this cobblestone line. It's a long ways, but you can follow this line, and it's just like a one wide path all the way back. I was going to do mine carts, but apparently you cannot ride mine carts in a nether.
Safely.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's just a regular rail, you can, but as soon as you hit a powered rail, it kicks you off the mine cart.
Oh.
Mobs can ride them, but not players for some reason.
Weird.
But yeah, if you follow me all the way up, therein lies the big surprise. I tried to, make it nice so you can have a view as you climb.
Yeah, very nice.
Up another layer, there's some fire right next to the glass. Give you some atmospheric.
Nice and safe.
Ooh. So, Gabriel, I know I've already asked you this question. I already told you the answer, but pretend that I didn't tell you. The question is can you break bedrock?
Oh,
pretend
no.
I didn't tell you the answer. Sorry.
No?
Yes. The answer is yes. There is like this weird ritualistic thing that you can do with pistons and TNT carts and blocks of redstone and obsidian and stuff like that. And you can do that, and you do it in a certain sequence, and you can actually break a block of obsidian. I think it just glitches out.
Bedrock.
I'm sorry, yeah, of bedrock. And it just like glitches out the one block and just deletes it.
Okay.
It involves pistons that you blow the little handle thing off of them. The little faceplate
Right.
that moves, you blow it off.
Okay.
And then you swap the faceplates between different ones. It's a really weird, complex thing. I mean, honestly, it's actually not that complex, but it's weird.
Mm.
Okay.
Like the TNT duplicator.
Yes, kind of like that. It's a
It's
weird
relatively
mechanic.
simple,
Yes.
but
You kind of have to know how to do it. But basically, you find a spot where the obsidian is only one block thick, and this was it. It was this last block was here, and so you take a ladder, and you go all the way up to it, and you have an ender pearl, and you just kind of face into the corner, and you chuck the ender pearl, and then you'll glitch through the obsidian.
okay.
And up there you have two options. You can either build yourself another nether portal to go in and out of. Right? Or you have to die to get back down.
Right.
But there's no other way other than breaking the obsidian. So if you don't bring all the stuff with you, you're kind of sunk.
You snooked.
Yeah. Now, but the nice thing is you can come up here, and it's a great place for building farms.
Okay.
Because mobs do not spawn on bedrock. So all this area, it's only in modded that they actually spawn on bedrock. So you can see around there's nothing here.
No. Apart from mushrooms.
Apart from mushrooms. And this mysterious ladder that goes into red mist.
Yes.
Would you like to see what's at the top of the ladder?
Nah. I'll
Okay,
just
okay.
go.
Excuse me, let me get back on the ladder. Alright, just climb up, look straight up.
I can hear a ghast.
I think that there's a gas somewhere. But you should see this big ring come into focus. Slowly.
Yes. Is it Sauron?
Kind of looks like the eye, doesn't it? I'm looking to see if I could see the gas, because it would be bad if we get blown up halfway.
Yeah. I think their voices travel a lot further than where they actually are.
Yeah, it could be that he's actually below bedrock, but as we get a little farther, or a little closer,
Okay, how on earth did you build this?
It took like 8 hours.
it
Oh,
it looks like
hang
it.
on. Oh, we're gonna stop right here, and I'm gonna change my sound settings. Turn it down a bit. Unfortunately, the mine carts are moving, and they're making a lot of sound. But go ahead and have a peep inside this bottom chest here.
Just let me check which. Is it block sounds or is it ambient
I
environment?
I honestly don't know. I was, as a viewer can see, I kept turning everything down except weather,
Everything there.
and then like hostile creatures, players, voice, speech, ambient, like
There we
everything,
go.
blocks, everything, and it's still loud. The only
Overall.
thing that makes it is just the master volume. That's the only one that makes it bearable. But yeah, go ahead and peek in there. So you could melt down the golden swords.
Hmm.
And I only ran this for like 30 seconds.
Right.
But watch. So you come up here. And you're now in the kill box. So you go ahead and close that though. I'm going to get my hand back. There we go. So what's happening here is don't get too close to the minecarts because they might kill you if you get in there. Just do not click on them, whatever you do.
Okay.
It will kill you. But basically, there are 24 mine carts inside that one block. Okay?
Eight?
And mine carts count as an entity. And so it's entity crushing, is I guess what it's called. And so basically, pigmen come down into here, they hit the mine carts, and the mine carts crush them to death.
Right, I see.
And yeah. So you stand here, okay? Or the operator of the farm, and let's see. I think I did it here because I don't have any more blocks. But basically, you stand here. You take a bow or a snowball. You find yourself a pigman. Shoot 'em.
Aggro them.
And there are 3 pigmen at every corner, so they can see you wherever you go. All right, and you just stand here in the middle with you.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and they just stay aggroed because the ones on the corners are still mad at you. And so all the new pigmen that spawn get mad at you. You just stand there and you look at your experience bar. Oh, it's a little baby pigman. But because they're mad at you, you actually get player drops.
Okay.
But look how high they freaking jump up this thing, man. It's like spooky.
They're determined.
They are very determined. It reminds me of, have you seen the movie World War Z?
What movie, sorry?
The movie World War Z?
Oh no, I never saw the movie, but I've read some of the comics.
Okay, so basically, well, maybe in the comics they do it still, but like zombies that come in hordes and are like crawling on each other and like making like piles of bodies.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, definitely. So, what are the stacks of anvils?
So the anvils are there. So everything. This was designed by Ilmango.
Still see it.
Right. No. So they actually have a purpose, and it is extremely expensive because of how much freaking iron you need.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we have a very well-producing iron farm.
Yeah.
Right. And we are up at a height that's so high, right, that so nothing else can spawn other than on these platforms. Right. And these platforms are stationed just far enough away that they will get maximum spawns, but without the pigmen despawning because they're too far away. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much those chests are gonna hold. But anyways, so it's designed perfectly because the person that made it was Il Mango, I believe, and I don't know if he made the initial one or he just like perfected it more or less. But he made it like to the T on how the mechanics of spawning works, right? And so the anvils are there because they're like 0.8 of a block or something like that. And so basically it makes like this weird little funnel for the pigmen to get into. Because if you had just solid blocks there, the problem what happens is that sometimes two pigmen will want to get in at the same time and they'll block all the other pigmen. Whereas if you have anvils, the pigmen get kind of funneled in. So even if you have 2 or 3 pigmen that get there at the same time, they can both fit into the hole and get pushed in and fall onto carts. But if you want to go into the game mode spectator, yeah. If you go into game mode spectator, you should be getting a lot more experience now because I'm not there. Oh, well, the pigmen are not mad at you, so. Okay. Oh, let's see your name tag. So, this is snow right here, these little white blocks. And the reason that it's snow is because you can... So, first off, you have to have this slot so the pigmen on the far edge over there can see you and stay aggroed to you. Okay? But if you have just an open slot, the baby pigmen will come in and get you.
Yes.
Right? I still get sometimes a baby pigmen, and it's because they're riding a chicken. If you see, like, right up there's a baby pigmen on a chicken.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they like to ride those. But that's why there's that one that was in the middle. But normally the other baby pigmen would just be able to run in. Whereas if you put slabs, the baby pigmen would get stuck on them and not make it around the counter or corner. And then every pigman that you're not killing, basically hurts the efficiency of the whole thing, right? Because I think it's a maximum of like 78 pigmen at a time or something, and so that's why this whole middle platform is just all glass, because the pigmen can't spawn on the glass. They don't spawn on the anvils, and they don't spawn on the trapdoors or the steps.
Right.
And so the only places they can spawn are out here on these 4 platforms. Right? And so they spawn out there on the rings, and then you aggro them, and they all come after you. And they can run across the glass without a problem, and then they fall into the trap, but they won't spawn on the glass, and so you have better spawn rates. It's basically what you wanted to do is you want them the new pigmen to spawn before all the old ones die, and just keep flowing in. Is what we're trying to work for. It gets pretty close, but not 100%. And we're like right at build height, which is 256. So you can actually only build this farm in Java. You can't do it like in Bedrock or the other versions of Minecraft. It has to be Java, because in the other versions, at least in Bedrock, I know that they made it at 128 is the build height, which is where the Bedrock is down there. And so you can't build above it. You can get up on top of it, but you can't do anything else. Yeah. And so these glass blocks on the very top are at 256. And so nothing else can spawn up here. But the reason that these are here are because ghasts like to spawn.
Okay.
And this will prevent them, because they need like a 3x3 area or something like that to spawn. And so these are only 2 high, and so all the other floors are also only 2 blocks apart. And so the ghast can't spawn any in there. And then they can't spawn enough room. They don't have enough room on any of the other blocks to spawn. And the glass prevents them from being able to spawn on top, and they won't spawn on the top block because it's glass.
Yeah.
And so that stops them from spawning, which allows us to have more pigmen. There's only one thing I didn't do yet, and that is actually going off to the sides and building or putting down a couple golems, like iron golems. And that's because the other things that can spawn in here are like the magma slimes.
Right.
Because they can fit inside a 2x2 spot. But they don't. I haven't had that many spawn, so it hasn't been an issue. But then, so, excuse me, like I said earlier, there's a hole right here. I'll have to fix that. But basically, these guys here, they're all named Bait. Basically, what these guys do is that you don't hit them because you'll knock them off the platform. But apparently, there's been a change to the AI functions. And the mobs will actually try to preserve themselves. So they won't... These guys will not walk off these blocks. And if they do, we got so many more pigmen, you just kind of put one in the cart or something and push them back onto the block and get them out of the cart. And then rename them. But, you name these guys too so they don't despawn. And then they just stay here. And so when you hit one of the other pigmen, or say down inside this ring or in the upper rings or whatever, all the pigmen get aggroed, but then these pigmen can't go anywhere.
So these are they remember.
These are the remembering pigmen, and so
they remember the act.
Yes, they remember the atrocity of the horrendous crimes.
It was him.
It was him, and so they they'll remember, and so when the new pigmen spawn, those pigmen will kind of tell the new pigmen, like, hey, go attack that guy, he killed one of us, or he hit one of us, and so they'll just keep swarming in. And then they won't despawn because they're named, and then they're off to the side so they can't move. Back in the past, you would have had to box these guys in a little bit, because they were dumb, kind of. they didn't preserve themselves at all, and they would
get
just
so angry
wander
that
off.
drop to the death.
Yeah. But then, so the trapdoors are that high because they do kind of just bounce really high in here. And then, these 4 chests in here don't really serve a purpose other than just for mild storage. And then down underneath, so like I said before, the main part where the pigmen fall, right? So if you come right at the ground level of the killing floor, the slab's here so that the XP can flow underneath it, right, and get up to you. Then you have the 24 minecarts where they get squished. Down below that, you have a hopper minecart that's squished into a glass block, right? So it can't go anywhere, but it's on top of another hopper, and that feeds down into the bottoms here, right? And it's basically because there's so many pigmen, you want to get the drops picked up as fast as you can, because otherwise they'll go everywhere. And you'll get broken swords and stuff flying everywhere. So, yeah, it took quite a while.
I can imagine.
To make, and I was watching the tutorial on it, and even with that, it took quite a while to figure out. I didn't know how to stack minecarts. I'm sure someone out there is going to say that sounds stupid, but it's something that's newer and 1 point, or at least as far as I know. It could have been in all the versions, I don't know. But basically, you just have a rail, and you just start clicking the rail with minecarts, and you just put 24 on each rail, and you break the rail, so that they don't move anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think so see how the pigmen are out on the glass now, so you can just sit here and boop. Okay.
Did you miss?
No, I pegged them. Oh, maybe they just didn't see me. They don't seem to be aggroing. Oh, maybe you still have to shoot one of the ones in the back.
I think my arrow's a bit too powerful now.
Yeah, you still have
There we
to.
go.
You have to get the ones. Ow! You got me through the wall. You kind of have to stand on the middle block. we'll share the experience. Yeah, so I guess you still have to hit the ones out in the far edge. If they're on the glass, it doesn't trigger them all for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so they can still see you if you stand here on this trapdoor. This was my little change I made for it. Before, the people just had a block there, but I wanted the ladder to be right in the middle. And yeah, so you just stand here. And you just let the hordes die. So, well, Gabra, I guess we're actually out of time. We already hit our time limit. But hopefully everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Gabra and I are going to sit here for a bit and just let the pigmen kill themselves. The screams of the pigmen will end the video. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And the minecarts, yes. The hum of the minecarts. But yeah, so this is a great farm. I'll try to link down in the description the one to El Mango and the guy that I watched and that did it himself. Great videos, both of them. And Il Mango goes a little more in depth about why it works and how it works. But really great videos. And so, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.